Hey guys, today I want to show you how to improve your graphics card performance for free using a free application called EVGA Precision X1. Now I'm going to show you two ways to do it. The first way is to make a setting so that your GPU will auto boost itself, so it will choose to boost at a certain clock speed for a certain amount of time according to the setting and permission that you give it. And the second way is manual overclock, which does involve some risk and some patience and also some time. Now let me show you how to do the first way, which is GPU auto boost. And all you need to do is go ahead and download EVGA Precision X1 or MSI Afterburner, install it and open the program up, and this window will show on your screen, and all you want to do is locate this target area, slide this all the way to the right, click apply, and pretty much that's it. What you're telling the GPU is like, hey, you are welcome to use more power to run faster, and also you are welcome to stay at a higher boost until the GPU reach 90 Celsius. Now this is the safest way that you can get extra performance without having to tinker with the card, without having to be worried that the card might crash or run into issue. Now the second way that I want to show you is actually manual overclocking. You will probably get a bit more performance this way, but you will have to tinker with it a little bit more. You will have to probably have to deal with some blue screen if you're not careful, and you just have to be a little bit careful. But it also will net you a bit more performance compared to the first method. Now the first step to manually overclock your graphics card, I would say, is to actually go to the web and actually search for what people have been successful with your specific model. For example, according to the FPS review, for this exact same card that I have right now, the RTX 3070, they were able to push it to 170 core clock, GPU core clock, and 800 with memory core clock. But also they are pushing the voltage by 50. There is one important thing that I want you to know is every single card is different. It's called the silicon lottery. So your card might be faster, or is it might be faster than their card, and my card. It's just a game of luck. It's drawing the lottery on your silicon. So now that you know the roughly headroom that your graphics card have, I would, for example, in my case, I would start off with like 500, and then also 100, because I know they can achieve it at 170 just fine. So I would start with this. I would click apply, and I would open up a video game like The Witcher 3 and just let it run a little bit, or even better, like some video game like Rise of the Tomb Raider, where they have a function that let you benchmark your GPU, so you can look for artifact flickering, or anything that looks odd, and then like lower, either you lower the clock speed if you see that, or you up the voltage a little bit to make it become stable. And after you run those benchmark and you play those video game, like single player video game, preferably like The Witcher 3, and nothing seems off, or nothing is looking differently or acting weirdly, you can increment it by let's say 10 to 20 GPU clock speed, and maybe up by 50 also memory clock speed, and then repeat the process again until you find what is your graphics card sweet spot. So for my specific graphics card, I was able to achieve plus 150 to the GPU core and plus 800 to the memory core, but I do not have to up the voltage at all compared to them, which is 170, 800, but plus 50 voltage. And I want to let you guys know that 20 megahertz is not worth for me to up 50 voltage, because 150 and 170, the difference between the two is barely a frame per second. But plus 50 voltage really make your graphics card run a lot harder, because it's draw way more power, and therefore your graphics card will fan will kick in ramped up way often, and spin way faster to try to keep the card cool, so you have a noisier and less power efficient card. So that's what I also suggest you to do. Like, if the different, for example, when you overclock your card between 100 and 150 is a difference between plus 25 to 30 voltage, I don't think it's worth it at all. I think you're better off just using a little bit lower frequency, but have the benefit of a cooler and more power efficient system overall. Yeah, so that's about it. Like, how to manual overclock your GPU is by incrementing your GPU core clock by 10 at a time, and a memory core clock by 20 at a time, or 50. Test it, make sure it's run smoothly, and if it doesn't run smoothly, just go to the previous clock that you had running, and then you either can use that, or you can up the voltage by 5. Do not up it too aggressively, just increment it by 5, and test it until it's stable. So just take it slow. Do not increment it by too big of a number at a time. Go slow to prevent the risk of damaging components, especially when you play around with voltage. And you also have to notice sometimes your graphics card just cannot push the core clock that you want it to. For example, my graphics card, I could not just let it push by 300, no matter how big of a core clock that I can add to it. So just remember that also. Don't try to achieve something that seems impossible, and don't just go around and throw high voltage to your graphics card, because that might damage some component. Just a side note. And that's about it. And to recap, so the first way to do it is just to let your GPU auto boost itself, and you don't have to tinker with anything. It's a guarantee that it will not throw you any issue like 99% of the time. And if you want to play around and see how far you can push your graphics card, you can go ahead and decide to do your manual overclocking. And thank you for watching, and I'll probably put a list of stuff that I just said at the end of the video.